Hello, everyone. I forgot to do the first intro thingy because it's Monday and, we're trying to get our ducks in a row. It's fall break for most of the kids. So it's a little bit off. I don't have to yell at people to get dressed. I don't know what to do with my mornings. It's a little confusing. I don't have to yell at people to get dressed. I have no idea what to do with my life. Fry is just excited everyone gets to stay with him. He believes that every day is a Friday when everyone gets to stay home. In our first story today, obviously the video has nothing to do with the first story because, well, it's news. So why would they relate anything to the video? But Suzanne Summers, the star of Three Company, but really more famous in the Midwest for The Thigh Master. You know it, you love it. Your mom, your grandma, your Aunt Edith, every single garage sale, Goodwill had it. You know it, you love it. It was the Thigh Master. We all had one. You know you did. If you were in the Midwest, you had a Thigh Master, or your mother did, or your Aunt Edith. So really, I wasn't around during the Three's Company stage, but I definitely was around during the Thigh Master stage. So Suzanne Summers will always be known for her Thigh Masters for me. Uh I I don't know, let's get into the article and maybe we'll see how she passed away. Again, God continues to skip over Kevin Spacey or the devil, I'm just saying. Suzanne Summers is dead at 76, according to her longtime publicist, R. Corey Hay. Summers, the Three's Company star, died in her home surrounded by her family early Sunday, the evening of her 77th birthday. Oh, you died on your birthday? I'm I'm very sorry because my mom, my grandma, my Aunt Edith, even myself, you saw them everywhere. Ugh, how dare they? Good morning. Look, I don't generally celebrate or mourn celebrity deaths, but when that day comes, I will have a live stream with a cake and sparklers and perhaps the Team America, if I don't get copyright struck, in the background and smoke machine and, maybe a bikini if I'm at my ideal body weight. I'm just saying, there's gonna be a celebration, and normally I don't do that because I'm not generally a jerk, but I'm just saying. I know, but I am sorry, MLS, for the mental anguish I gave you about the Thigh Master and your mother, but I just know that everyone's mom, aunt, grandma, older sister had a Thigh Master. And I really didn't know her from Three's Company, all I knew her was from The Thigh Master, so I'm sorry, but that's how I knew the woman, and that's what we wasn't she in Step by Step, or was that someone else? Maybe, I don't know. It wasn't immediately clear. Okay, her family was gathered to celebrate her 77th birthday on October 16th and said they would celebrate her extraordinary life and want to thank her millions of fans and followers who loved her dearly, Hay said in a statement on behalf of Summers' family. It wasn't immediately clear how Summers dies. Hay said she survived an aggressive form of breast cancer for over 23 years. Summers will be buried in a private ceremony this week in Palm Springs, a source familiar with the matter said. A memorial will follow next month, Hay said. Her family was flying in to celebrate her birthday and discussed what type of food and cake to get her, a source said, adding how, quote, everyone is shocked and facing the terrible reality that she's gone. In July, Summer shared on Instagram that her breast cancer had returned. Okay, all right, then I do remember her from Step by Step. Okay, I thought for y'all, I was like, wasn't she in a show with Patrick Duffy? But then I thought, "Oh my gosh, Mo, are you having a fever dream? Because I may or may not." If I get monetized, that will be a members only stream, because don't nobody wanna see that. Well, I mean, they might, but the people that would pay to see that would mm, okay. So I definitely knew her more from, Step by Step. And good morning, Alexandra. Good morning, Captain Have Fun. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Bobby Baloney and Kim Fairhan or Farnham. Sorry, I know it's like Barnum, Murph's Turf and Crime Spies and Making Law Simple. Hopefully, I've got all of you. Sorry, my eyesight's a little not great this morning, so she told Entertainment Tonight at the time, like any cancer patient, when you get that dreaded "it's back," you get a pit in your stomach. I will put on my battle gear and go to war. This is familiar battleground for me, and I'm very tough. Quote, she used alternative medicine over the years to fight the cancer, but this time around she was under the care of a traditional doctor and and was undergoing treatment, a source familiar said. She was first diagnosed in 2000 and she also had skin cancer. She faced some criticism for her reliance on what she described as a chemical free and organic lifestyle to combat cancers. Summers appeared in many television shows in the 70s, including Rockford Files, The $6 Million Man, but her most famous part came in Three's Company, which aired, no, on ABC from 1977 to 1984. She also played the mom in longtime running kids sitcom Step by Step. That was for preteens and tweens, and that was on TGIF Friday. I would just like to I yeah. Uh, can we bring back TGI Fridays? Does anyone remember? I remember being so excited. You had Family Matters, you had Sabrina, the teenage witch who was not a giant smexy hoe. We had, Step by Step. You had Blossom, I think sometimes maybe, and you had Boy Meets World. And they all taught you a lesson and it was all good and there was no crazy smexiness and, who's doing who, and I didn't learn all the scary things. I tried to watch, Riverdale, but holy orgy, what the hell? I was like, "And no." Told the girls they had to watch Paw Patrol. It's like, "Are you watching this?" I'm going to have to spray paint it gold, glitter it, and we're going to put a shrine up to the thigh gap I'll never have. Ah, in other news, uh, okay, I know I put this on Twitter, but dude is hot. I'm sorry. I just noticed this. So, if you, like me, were a kid of the '90s and maybe adopted The Sandlot as your personal favorite movie, and your family does quotes of The Sandlot like "You're killing me, Smalls," or "Forever," during family things, then you know that, well, this wimpy kid shouldn't have turned out this hot. Anywho, let's get on to the real story. I will try to keep my hotness detection at a minimum. The Sandlot star Marty York's mother, Deanna SML, was murdered in her own home, TMZ reported Friday. SML, a sheriff's deputy, was found dead Thursday inside her home in City, California, according to the outlet. On Friday, Del Norte County Sheriff's Office, where look, I'm probably butchering her name. Yeah, Forever. I'm just saying, it's the greatest movie ever. We should have a watch night. It is the most awesomest ever. Where Esma worked, put a public alert in hopes of tracking down the alleged suspect, Daniel James Waller, her boyfriend. Okay, so here's this guy. Let's go to the picture of what he looked like in The Sandlot. Okay, that was, I believe, this kid right here. No way he should have grown up this hot. Oh my gosh. You must watch it now. But I'm just saying, okay, now that we've gotten over how genetics work and he grew up hot and has a cool sweater, let's get on to the real story. Investigators told TMZ that Walter, sorry. My eyes are really fuzzy today, guys, sorry. Walter, who has recently adopted a new name, Edward Patrick Davies, is a suspect in SML's murder. The alert noted the authorities were able to locate Waller's vehicle, although the 54-year-old is still out on the loose. And, they must have thought he was hot too, because I mean, they are just posting all of his hotness pictures. I'm just saying. We are all deeply heartbroken at the loss of Deputy SML, Sheriff Scott, who worked alongside SML at the Del Norte Sheriff's Office. In a statement per TMZ, our hearts and prayers go out to our families, friends, and coworkers, the officer said. SML's 43-year-old actor son, York, who is best known as playing Yaya in the 1993 movie The Sandlot, reacted to his mother's death on social media post on Friday. Listen, he's older than me, which means he works with my silver fox hunting. Mr. Mo's gonna be like, "Did you spend the entire article talking about how high he was?" I'll be like, no, I did not." Quote, "The hardest part of this post I'll ever have to write is but I this is the hardest post I'll ever have to write, but I found out from the sheriff's department last night that my mother was murdered by a man she was seeing," he claimed in the photo caption. "The emotions I have are horrible right now between rage and vengeance," crying, York elaborated. "There is a nationwide manhunt underway. Please, if you've seen this man, contact the authorities immediately." A rep for York did not immediately respond to Page Six for comment. So, I mean, it's it's very sad that his mom passed away, and I feel very badly that I just noticed his pictures. I'm a terrible person. I'll work on being better. In other news, the UAE, or United Arab Emirates island, breaks message in a bottle world record. Now, did they play the police message in a bottle while doing it? Because if not, probably not. Why would anyone respond? They're terrible and they do puns throughout their entire articles. I love it, but I can see how it would be irritating to talk about. Now, if they weren't playing the police's message in a bottle, I don't think it counts, but I'm not on the Guinness, record team. An island in the United Arab Emirates broke the Guinness World Record with a display of 1,100 messages in a bottle. Sayyidat Saadiyat Island in Abu Dhabi, officials said guests at various hotels on the island were invited to write messages about their affection for the island or concept of love, and the notes were put into bottle and arranged on the beach in the form of the phrase, "I heart this island." The resulting installation was awarded the Guinness World Record for the largest display. Fry, if you are eating something that you are not supposed to, which is most likely what you're doing, since I can't really see you well. Oh, well. It is what it is. The organizer said the stunt was inspired by the Pont des Arts bridge Ponts des Arts bridge in Paris. So there you go. The United Arab Emirates. Now, it says nothing about the police being playing. And I feel like that was a missed opportunity to have an awesome song playing, because you cannot be in a bad mood if you listen to Message in a Bottle. Also, if you listen to Message in a Bottle and then you listen to anything that Bruno Mars plays, you're gonna be like, "The hell am I listening to the police?" Okay. In other news, Georgia is as ho. Georgia man slapped with $1.4 million speeding ticket for driving 35 miles over the limits. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh. I love him. He's my "You're Killing Me" Smalls, My mom has a T-shirt that she loves with that. And listen, my mom and I don't always see eye to eye, but when you have that one thing in your family that everyone likes, and, you can have difference of everything politically and everything, but you put on that one movie that kinda brings everyone together because, you can just finish the lines together. That's awesome. I'm 'Cause, I know you're going to be shocked, but Mo was raised by, loudly opinionated people. So, maybe that's why I love the movie because regardless of how we differed on opinions and everything else, we could all sit down to that movie and we all just loved it no matter what it is. Oh, I bet. I bet. I think I've seen a picture of him, how they have those, ticky ads where it's like, "Oh, look how they look now." I think he looks exactly like himself except older. He was fast, then furious. A man caught speeding down a Georgia freeway was bewildered when the cops slapped him with a $1.4 million ticket last month. Connor Caddo was driving home through Savannah on September 2nd when Georgia State Patrol caught him going 90 in a 55-mile zone. He admitted to WSAV TV. While he expected a hefty fine, Cato was astounded when he was handed the seven-figure charge. He, he called the court assuming the fee was a typo, but he was reportedly told he either had to pay the sum or appear in court. 1.4 million, the lady told me on the phone. I said, this might be a typo. She said, no, sir, you either pay the amount on the ticket or you come to court December 21st at 1:30 p.m. He told the local outlet. Criminal defense attorney Sen Patel said he had never seen such a high fine for a misdemeanor, not 1.4 million. That's something that goes into cases that are drug trafficking, murders, aggravated assault, something of that nature, he told WSAV. Lucky for Cato, the massive price actually reflected a placeholder that he was never expected to pay. The staggering figure was generated by e-citation software used by local recorders court that automatically applied to quote super speeders, anyone caught speeding more than 35 miles over the limit, said Josh Peacock, a spokesperson for Savannah city government. The judge set the real fine, which cannot exceed 1,000 plus the state mandated cost at a mandatory court appearance. Quote, we do not issue that placeholder as a threat to scare anyone into court, even if this person heard differently from someone in our organization, Peacock said in a statement. Oh, sure. They don't threaten people with that. Sure, they don't. The programmers who designed the software use the largest number possible because super speeder tickets are a mandatory court appearance and do not have a fine amount attached to them when issued by the police. The city has been using the new system since 2017, but is currently working on adjusting the placeholder language to avoid confusion. Yeah, sure you don't. I'm sure they're like, no, you have to pay 100. Can you imagine Bill Gates? He's like, look, I ain't going to court. Here, have a mill. State of Georgia's like, look, we know Bill Gates coming in. I'm gonna need you to pull him over. We've got a deficit. All right, and this one is a local case. There was a missing teacher that was on vacation, and unfortunately, this has gone probably not the way we wanted it to go. I was going to do a video. I just got busy with taking care of everything and laundry, but this is probably not going to be a happy ending. Puerto Rico police find a body during the search for a missing Indianapolis teacher. Police in Puerto Rico said Saturday they found a body while searching for Indianapolis art teacher who seemingly vanished a couple days earlier while vacationing on the Caribbean island. What happened there? Y'all saw that, right? I'm not having a stroke, right? Just checking. Yeah, it's almost like they could have just said mandatory court appearance instead of, uh, leaving deer tracks in people's underpants. But, Amanda Webster, 44, was reported missing Wednesday by the landlord where she was staying after she never checked out and left behind all her belongings and rented car, Puerto Rican police said in a translated Facebook post. Police said investigators found a body upside down floating in a rocky area of the river in Rio Blanca neighborhood on the sector of Camino Viejo de Niegable. Look, I took 4 years of advanced Spanish in high school, and I lost all of it. Well, not advanced for the Midwest, and I lost all of it. I also wasn't paying that much attention, to be very honest, according to a translated Facebook post. As of late Saturday afternoon, authorities hadn't confirmed whether the body was Webster's and did not say if foul play was suspected. Quote, "At this stage, it was not possible to identify the gender of the body or conclude if it showed signs of violence," Puerto Rican police said in a translated Facebook post. Webster was last seen at the Casa Paracha's guest house near another place with the national park, a tropical rainforest at the in northeastern Puerto Rico, with trails that lead around La Mina waterfall and Mount Breton. The body was discovered in a river where police had been searching for Webster, according to authorities. The CIC team of the police, along with the prosecutor's office and staff of the Forensic Institute, are working on extraction and identification process, according to the authorities. After the police in Puerto Rico learned Webster was missing, they immediately activated an Asante alert, a missing person alerts for adults aged 18 to 64 who have either a proven disability or could be in danger. Webster's disappearance is being investigated by Criminal Investigation Corps of the police, state emergency management staff, and the U.S. Forest Service, police say. Webster's mother, Pamela, thanked everyone for their support and prayers on social media in a Facebook post with heartfelt background. Anyone with information is being asked to call this number. So if you guys know anything, or 911. A couple weeks before Amanda went missing, Pamela penned a Facebook post for National Daughters Day, and it said, quote, I didn't know that there was a Daughters Day. Sorry I missed it, but every day is Daughters Day in my life. Since you were born, love you to the moon and back forever and ever. She wrote September 27th. So probably not the news that everyone was hoping for, but I don't know, on balance, maybe a little bit of closure for the family, that sounds terrible. I wanted a happy ending for this one. I hoped that maybe she just got lost in the forest or something like that, and they would be able to find her, and that's why I didn't report earlier, but this is pretty sad, and the best we can hope for is closure for the family and maybe some answers, and sadly, when we do this kind of reporting, when we do this kind of news, those are unfortunately some of the happier endings that we get sometimes. Um, this is another case that was really big, and I found it over the weekend, and I did wanna talk about it because the way that it was written, I kinda took offense to. Florida teacher severely beaten by 270-pound student over a Nintendo Switch refuses to help defense lighten sentence. Uh, I'm not gonna show the video of this. I'm sure you guys have seen the video of this. This kind of went viral, and I don't like showing. First of all, the person who did it, the suspect, the defense says that he is autistic. And second, I don't like to show people getting just manhandled and beat. So if you would like to see the video, it's on the Interzones. The Florida teacher who was beat unconscious by a 270-pound student in a viral video has refused to help the teen's defense team lighten his sentence, according to a report. Brendan Dippa, then 17, violently hurdled the high school paraprofessional Joanne Nadick to the ground and could be seen on the video kicking and punching her in the back and head more than a dozen times before he was pulled off her by the other staff. The troubled teen told investigators he attacked Nadich because the teachers ordered him to stop playing a video game on a Nintendo Switch. Dapa, who is charged as an adult, faces up to 30 years in prison for first-degree felony charge of aggravated battery. According to Flagler Live, Nadich, quote, has shown no interest in mitigating what penalties Dapa might face. The autistic teen who pled guilty to avoid trial was initially charged as a juvenile before the case or in the case before the wraps were upgraded. Yeah, that's what I don't like. It seems like it's an excuse. It's you still have self-control, you still have everything. You're right, Bobby Bologna, I'm going to go with you on that one. Still, Judge Terrence Perkin still has the option of sentencing him as a youth and meting out a penalty as low as probation. The teen's disability will likely weigh on his decision. Now 18, Deppa has 3 prior battery arrests before the shocking February attack on Nadich, who was treated at the hospital after the assault. Yeah, but he also has it seems like he also has a history of acting violently when things don't go his way, and regardless of everything, that's not a type of person that can be out in public. Part of prison or wherever we're going to send this person, be it a mental hospital or a prison, is to keep the public safe, and if, he's in Walmart and someone accidentally bumps him, I mean, he's a large person, is that going to pick him up? Piss him off? What is going to happen? Part of prison is keeping the people that can't control themselves out of prison or out of population. I don't know. Flagler Live also reported that Deppa got into a brawl in jail last month. He obviously has poor impulse control. I'm sorry. I don't understand why it's incumbent on the woman who got assaulted to stand up and ask the judge to ignore the fact that she got really hurt. Deppa, who stands 6'6", reportedly threatened to kill Nadich during his arrest. It was initially reported Nadich had personally confiscated the Nintendo device from him, but she denied doing so in subsequent interviews. Quote, I am hopeful that the awareness of this incident being spread far and wide will prevent anyone else from ever dealing with the trauma, physical healing, and disruption of everyday life this has caused, she said on a GoFundMe page that has raised more than $100,000. Deppa is slated to issue his plea later this month and will be sentenced after that in a separate proceeding. The high school where the assault took place has been besieged by violence in the recent years and days. Just this week, 11 students were arrested in the Palm Coast High School after a massive fracas erupted in the crowded hallways. Deputies and administrators who tried to quell the chaos were shoved and punched during the incident. Quote, the lack of respect demonstrated by these students is simply shameful, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Sality said of the fight, but actions have consequences. In yet another violent episode this week, 16-year-old student was arrested for biting a teacher who was trying to stop her from fighting another girl. Look, Florida kids start early, y'all. In other news, Ruby Franke's husband seems like a dick too. Franke's husband wanted oldest daughter arrested with burglary after mother's arrest. Disgraced Utah parenting blogger Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin Franke, allegedly wanted his eldest daughter arrested for burglary 2 days after police broke into their home in August to serve a search warrant, according to September police report. Franke and her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, who together ran a parenting and lifestyle YouTube channel, were charged with 6 counts of child abuse each after police rescued two of Franke's children, who authorities said appeared to be malnourished and neglected, from Hildebrandt's residence on August 30th. Police then served a warrant at Franke's address in an effort to locate her other children who were not at the Hildebrandt home at the time. Quote, I responded to a phone complaint for Kevin Franke on the report of a burglary at the house, a Springfield officer wrote in a report for September 1st, indicating an incident obtained by Fox News Digital. Kevin apparently told the police that the front door of his home had been, quote, kicked in and damaged, and some of his electronics were missing. He also named his older daughter, Sherry Franke, as the suspect in what he thought was a burglary. Quote, Kevin stated that Sherry is not allowed in the home and he believes she entered unlawfully and he wanted her charged with burglary, the officer wrote. The officer then told Kevin Franke that his door had been broken in after the Springfield police served a search warrant at the home, and his daughter was not responsible for the damage, the report said. Kevin Franke, quote, wanted to have his daughter charged for theft, taking some hard drives out of the house. But the responding officer informed him that his daughter wasn't aware she wasn't allowed to have them and offered to bring them back. Sherry Franke reportedly returned the electronics, which included 3 tablets, 3 cell phones, 3 cameras, a stack of written journals, and 3 passports to the Springfield Police Department, and the responding officer gave them to the complainant, who arrived a short time later. The police informed Kevin Franke that they would not be charging his daughter, quote, as her intent was not to deprive him of any items, and she had previously been allowed in the home, and he had not been in the home, admittedly, for 13 months. The police report states, Kevin Franke, in turn, allegedly threatened to sue the police department, according to the report. Kevin Franke's attorney, Randy Castor, has not responded to multiple email inquiries and phone calls from Fox Digital. Ruby Franke, who ran a popular video blog or vlog, oh my gosh, called 8 Passengers in reference to herself, her husband, and their 6 kids for years. Now you're going to go to sleep? You are such a dingbat. Dogberto. Yes, Jody Hildebrandt has this pattern of having husbands move out of the house because they might have a prawn addiction, or, they might be looking at other women, and that makes them dangerous predators. So they have to leave the house so they can work on, um, removing their urges. It's all the weird. But she has a pattern of basically separating the husbands out of the house, when she is working with couples, and I don't know that she's ever fixed a marriage. I could be wrong, but I have to go look and see if she actually has fixed a marriage or she just made everyone break up. For years before she stopped posting on the page amid backlash from somewhat controversial videos. In one such video, Franke told her followers about her and her husband's decision to withhold Christmas presents from their 2 youngest children as a punishment for what she described as selfish behavior. I cannot with this woman. In other videos, Franke discussed withholding food from her children and making her son sleep on a beanbag chair instead of his bed for an extended period of time as a punishment for pulling a prank on his younger brother, and other forms of discipline she deemed for bad behavior. Once she ceased her 8 Passengers channel, she and Hildebrandt started their own joint parenting YouTube channel called Connections Classroom. In the police report obtained by Fox News Digital, Sherry Franke and the Frankie's neighbor told police that Ruby would leave her children alone in her Springfield home while visiting Hildebrandt in St. George for extended periods of time. Yeah, she fixes them apart. It's it um, this man doesn't have creepy eyes. I would totally not profile him if I was in Walmart and just not go down the chip aisle at that particular moment. Uh, but, it was the eyes that made me pick the article. They don't stare right through you and into your soul and make you extremely creepified. Quote, "I just killed someone. Cops find a decapitated body with intestines extruding in a living room, head in the bathtub," reports say. Sir, you look like the type of guy that allegedly might could do this. Just saying. It's all in the eyes. Cops in Texas made a horrifying discovery when they found a decapitated body in the living room of a San Antonio home and the severed head in the bathtub, according to media reports. Citing an arrest affidavit, local CBS affiliate Ken ENS reported San Antonio police were called around 10:15 p.m. Friday for a suspicious person after a man who was looking into parked vehicles. When officers got there, they approached the man, later identified as 35-year-old Bradley Adam Dimmick. "I just killed somebody," Dimmick reportedly said. As you do. Just go up to the cops as you're looking into cars to, rob allegedly. I mean, he's straightforward to the point. He allegedly said he killed a person named Dimmick in a house about a mile away. Cops went to the home and immediately saw blood inside the front door, the affidavit said. The officers went inside, saw a dead dog. Okay, you are a jerkhole, sir. Near the front door. Then they went to the living room and found a man's headless body, a giant jerkhole. The victim, identified as 65-year-old Kenneth Dimmick, had a large stomach wound with his intestines extruded. We just had to have that in there. According to the affidavit, the dog had sir, look, I'm just going to tell you that you are in Texas. We're going to need the whiteboard of truth. All right. Sir, you done effed up. You done effed up and found out. You're gonna find out. Okay. Now you are in Texas. Now they have what we call the DP. Now we can get Old Sparky, which I don't think they use, but you can get the old, we're gonna say this guy. Or you can go, the old blindfold. I think actually in Texas you can choose. But sir, let me splainarate something to you. Now, you just done did something terrible to an old man, and that's going to tick some people off. So your F around find out chart, you're about here with the old man. So this is F around, and this is find out. F around. Okay. So you're right here with the old man. But what you don't get is you done murder-lated a puppy, a cute little Frybert or Nurbert or Nibbler, and don't nobody. Oh, hell no. See, what you don't realize is that, well, we can't say people love dogs much more than they love people most times. You done effed up, sir. You done killed. Have we not seen 800 John Wicks? Sir, you done murderlated a puppy. You graphically murderlated a puppy. No, sir. Texas is gonna express one of these things for you. I'm just saying. And I don't even think Amnesty International or the Innocence Project's gonna get on with this. They're gonna be like, "And a puppy?" And nope. So, sir, I'm just saying. You done picked the wrong side of the John Wick equation, and now you're gonna be in trouble, 'cause we don't like it when old people get hurt, but you done mutilated a puppy, a doggo, and people will go to the mattresses for a doggo. The death penalty, you perverts. Police followed a trail of dry blood, which led them to the severed head in a bathtub, detectives wrote. There were 3 surveillance cameras in the home, including one that was pointed toward Kenneth Dimmick's body, they said. It's unclear when the homicide occurred, but the detectives noted in the affidavit that there were missing notification on Kenneth Dimmick's phone call or cell phone dating back to 9:11 a.m. or 9:19 a.m. on October 13th. Detectives also did not say how the Dimmicks were related, but at Bradley's address is listed in the affidavit as where the slayings occurred. Court records show that Bradley Dimmick is facing first-degree murder and animal cruelty charges. He is at Bexar County Jail on 1.5 million bond. Look, I am just I sir, I'm just saying you took it to a whole whole 'nother level with the puppy involvement. People don't play with dogs. In other more awesome news, and you know I had to cover it because wine, and we had to get I didn't know there was gonna be puppy involvement. Had I known there was puppy involvement, I would 5,000-year-old wine unearthed in Egyptian queen's tomb, meaning that even in the olden days, we liked our box wine. Sisters, we understand. We too wanted wine on our eternal journey, and I will be taking not boxed wine, but relatively cheap wine on my final journey too. Put the booze in mom's casket. Aged to perfection, sealed jars of wine from 5,000 years ago have been discovered in a tomb of a woman believed to be Egypt's first female pharaoh, SWN News reports. A German Austrian, not Australian, Austrian team led by archaeologist Christina Kohler from the University of Vienna, sorry, was conducting an excavation of Queen Meret Nias, look, something foreign, in a tomb in a place in Egypt when they stumbled across the large wine jars. Some of them were well preserved and even still sealed in their original state. The wine was no longer liquid, so we can't tell if it was red or white, Kohler said in a statement last week. We found a lot of organic residue, grape seeds and crystals, possibly tartar. All of this is currently being scientifically analyzed. This is possibly the second oldest direct evidence for wine. The oldest comes from the same place. So, well, it wasn't really there. I mean, it had all evaporated or soaked into the crockery or what have you. And it'd be vinegar by now, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm not a winologist. I mean, I'm a wine drinkerologist, but a winemakerologist, it's a goal. Bathtub gin for everyone. Although her true identity remains a mystery, this wino, I mean, this awesome woman was the only woman to have her own monumental tomb in Egypt's first royal cemetery at Abydos. Based on the tomb inscriptions, researchers determined she was responsible for government agencies such as the Treasury around 3000 BC. She was the predecessor of Queen Hatshepsut. Look, something with a lot of letters, and I'm having trouble distinguishing T's from L's today. So, yeah, that name from the 18th dynasty. Quote, the new excavations bring to light an exciting new information about this unique woman and her time. Merit Naeth Desert Tomb Complex, which includes tombs of 14 courtiers, and servants, in addition to her own burial chamber, was constructed with unbaked mud bricks, clay, and wood. Oh, they put seeds in there. The team learned the tombs were built in several phases over a relatively long period of time. I mean, yeah, as soon as your servant dies, you mummify them or you let them die or you put them in there while they're alive. I mean, no one wants to go to heaven without servants. I always remember that Futurama where they had the mummified guy and he's like, "That's my beef jerky," which is terribly culturally insensitive, but it is what it is. Enough with the love locks. Grand Canyon warns lovers against leaving those locks at the park. Yeah, people don't wanna fall into the Grand Canyon, and don't they have to the love locks on that, bridge in Paris, don't they generally have to take some off or the whole thing will fall into the river? Grand Canyon National Park is urging visitors to stop using the landmark to partake in a trend where lovers at a viewpoint leave behind a padlock to express their relationship. Padlocks left at fencing are known as love locks, but the practice of throwing a key away at the Grand Canyon poses a threat to the rare and endangered condor. The park warned on its Facebook page, "Love is strong, but not as strong as our bolt cutters," reads the post. People think putting a lock on a fence at a viewpoint is a great idea or a great way to show love for another person. It's not. Leaving padlocks like this is littering and a form of graffiti. The keys being left behind are consumed by curious condors, the post said, who love shiny things. These scavenger birds, the post continued, will eat coins, wrappers, or shiny metallic pieces that cannot be digested or that they will not be able to pass. The post included a photo of an X-ray of a condor with coins lodged in its digestive tract. An operation on the fowl cleared the obstruction, the post explained. If a condor ingests too many objects like this, it could die, the post added, warning that objects are thrown from the rim every day. Padlocks and trash are not anomalies limited to the Grand Canyon. Do your part to contribute do your part not to contribute to these bad habits and inform others of what can happen to wildlife if this behavior continues. In October 2022, the park served 3 federal violation notices to a woman on suspicions of littering and creating hazardous conditions with disorderly conduct after she posted a video of herself hitting a golf ball and losing most of her golf club at the Grand Canyon. The fine for disorderly conduct and tossing the or throwing the items into the canyon carried a maximum fine of $5,000 and 6 months in prison. So, yeah, just don't throw things in the Grand Canyon. It's not a trash can. I didn't think we had to say these things, but apparently the outside is not a trash can. Pick up your crap. Don't leave your crap. Put your crap in a trash can. I, I failed to see that this was but yeah, just don't. A missing San Diego's woman's last contacts were with a police officer and a woodcutter. Did she go into the wood chipper? When I saw this line, I was like, "Wood chipper? Oh god, why is that sexy on the" I'm gonna have to pause this. She's either that or that hobo, Muppet from the same movie that had all the oh gosh, the trap hobo Muppet. I can't remember her name. Sorry, my ADHD is on 27 today. Imma be honest. A missing woman canceled dinner plans with a friend, had an emotional chat with a police officer, a brief exchange with a woodcutter who found her in a remote area of Ashford, Arizona. It all happened in a short span between September 27th to the 30th, which is the last time Chelsea Grimm, 32, was ever seen. Hunters found her abandoned Ford Escape on October 5th in the Kaibab National Forest, according to the Con Conoco Sheriff's County's office, which said she was reported officially missing on October 3rd. Law enforcement, specifically to the sheriff's office, have been frantically looking for Grimm, which includes several social media updates that include photos of what she was last seen wearing, a distinctive tattoo on her left arm, and her pet bearded dragon and white Ford Escape or White Escape. Interesting. Grimm was on a cross-country trip from her home in San Diego to Connecticut for a family wedding. She planned to camp out in Arizona on the way, police said. On September 28th, a police officer responded to a call about suspicious activity near a cemetery in Williams, Arizona, about 18 miles from where her car was spotted in Ash Fork. "How are you doing?" the officer asks Grimm in the body footage, which was obtained and reported by azfamily.com. "I'm okay, how are you?" Grimm responded, according to the local news outlet, which reported Grimm appeared upset in the body footage. She reportedly told the officer she was working on a photography project. "I'm just doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road," Grimm told the cop in body footage, according to azfamily.com. She mentioned she didn't have a hotel because she planned to camp out for the night. The officer pointed out that a nearby gas station area where she can sleep without being bothered, according to AZ Fam. "Awesome, yeah, love that," Grimm replied. That was the last recorded sighting of Grimm. Police said she had a brief exchange with a woodcutter who found her in a camping in a remote area of Ash Fort on September 30th. Grimm told the worker she was okay. Her family reported her missing October 4th. The next day, a hunter reported a suspicious abandoned vehicle that the police learned belonged to Grimm. The car was located and her belongings were still inside. Her bearded dragon, named Roz or Roxy, was also missing, according to the police. The sheriff did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment Saturday night. Sheriff's office is asking if anyone remembers seeing or having any contact with Chelsea or her bearded dragon to please call the sheriff's office. So you guys, I know some of you are in or California or Arizona. Keep your eyes open. I mean, this is what she looks like. You know, she might be having a hard time mentally. Not that woman. Um, she has a bearded dragon, reptile. Just if you keep your eyes peeled, you might not see anything, who knows? And then for our final story, a crossbow attack. DNA from arrows links suspect accused in crossbow attack that wounded a woman walking in Hawaiian Beach parking lot, police. Police linked DNA from an arrow shaft to a suspect accused of firing a crossbow, wounding a woman while walking to her car in a beach parking lot in Hawaii last month. Gimme Palefox Ventura, that is a name, Palafox, 32, was charged with assault in the second degree following an incident on September 6th in a parking lot area of Hapuna Beach State Recreational Area, the Hawaii Police Department said in a news release. South Kaloa patrol officers responded to the lot at 7:30 that night and met with the victim, 31. She told the police she had just been shot just after sunset when she began walking back to her vehicle at the northern end of the main parking lot. She had approached her vehicle. She heard what sounded like a gunshot. She realized she had suffered a large cut and was bleeding from her left bicep. She immediately left the area in her vehicle and called for medical and police help. Officers found her near Kauai and Alunu Alukanani Road and saw an arrow lodged in her vehicle's driver's door near the rear quarter panel, authorities said. She was treated for her injuries and released. Quote, "The length and type of arrow was determined to be consistent with arrows designed for use in crossbows," police said in their news release. Police quickly identified Ventura as a person of interest, linking him through DNA to an arrow lodged in the victim's vehicle and sent it to analysis to the Honolulu Police Department Scientific Investigation Section. Detectives said they executed search warrants on Wednesday on Ventura's resident at 2023 Toyota Tacoma pickup truck at the 4500 block of Ohana Street in Honoka, officials said. The search uncovered 2 arrows in Ventura's bedroom, a crossbow, 6 arrows, arrow tips, and fletching from his truck. Bail was set at $2,000. Well, He was out on custody on supervised release with orders to stay away from the victim and the beach where the crime occurred. Did you all keep his crossbow? I I feel like this is a pertinent question. Did y'all keep the crossbow? A motive and if and how the suspect and victim knew each other is unclear. His public defender did not immediately respond to a message seeking comment Saturday from Law and Crime. Does anyone ever want to talk to Law and Crime either? So those are the stories. Rest in peace, Suzanne Summer and Summers, the Thigh Master Inventor. Be on the watch out for crossbows, I guess. And every woman loves wine. I think we've learned a lot today. I will see you guys in a little bit. We will be going over the kind of craziness that has happened in the Delphi case, go over the podcasters' murder sheets. Who are they? What have they done? Kind of the things they've done in the case. What does this leak mean? And then we might go full tinfoil on the whole thing. I don't know. It's been one of those days. This weekend has been really hard with the rain and cold weather coming in. So I am a little off my game, but I'm trying. So we will try to do that at 11 o'clock. I will see you. And if I don't see you there, then come and have more current event crime and chaos at 7 p.m. tonight for Nightly Newsy News with Fry and Mo and see what kind of crazy sleep positions Mr. Frybert can get in then. I have enjoyed this current event crime chaos and all of the commentary this morning with you guys, and I will see you in a little bit. Have a fantastic day. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. Bye, guys.